If you were to ask me who one of the greatest Christian apologists was of the last decade, perhaps you'd be surprised to hear me say that I think it's Ravi Zacharias. Ravi was not a Catholic, but he was a Christian apologist. He was someone who was converted to the faith, to the Christian faith, simply by hearing the words of the gospel. When he was in a moment of darkness, when he was about to take his life at the age of 17, he was sent a pastor or some kind of Christian in the hospital where he was, and that person gave him a Bible. And Ravi, being too tired, too sort of broken down to read the Bible himself, had his mother, in her broken English, read out the words of the Bible to him. And having heard those words, he came to the faith and he became a Christian. And ever since that moment, at the age of 17, he decided to devote his whole life to Christ. And little by little over the years, with the fire of love that he had for the gospel, he was able to attract so many more people by his use of reason, by his use of logic, by his use of history, to bring people to the faith, to bring people to Christ. Now, one of the surprising things about Ravi is that after all his research, after everything that he did, for some reason he never entered the Catholic faith, even though he was aware of what our church is. What is it that we as Catholics believe? He knew all of that, but for some reason he never entered into the faith. Now, does that nullify everything that he did? I don't think so. I think it's a pity that he never came to the fullness of the faith, but I think that in some great way he was able to witness to who Christ was. He was able to give a good witness to what the truth really is, and he defended it like a lion. When we hear in today's gospel that people say that Jesus' name is being used by some people who are not followers of their group, we hear Jesus kind of rebuke them and say, look, they're doing something in my name, let them do it. I would say something similar of Ravi. Even though he did not become a Catholic per se, he in some way was able to bring people at least a step closer from atheism, from unbelief, from whatever other false beliefs they might have had, closer to believing in the truth of Jesus Christ. Now, some people will have to be taken further from whatever they believe about Jesus to finding out the fullness of the truth that Jesus had a church, and that church is the true Catholic Church. But we must give thanks to God for these people, like Ravi Zacharias, like many other Christian apologists, who fight day in and day out to bring the gospel to those who may never hear the message of Christ. It is by their witness that so many people come to know Jesus, and so many people are set free from sin, so many people are set free from death, because Christ came to set us free. And they do not know freedom until they know Him. So let us then not make enemies of those who do not believe exactly what we believe, but let us make friends with them. Let us learn to find truth wherever it is. Let us learn to appreciate the fact that Christ has allowed His truth to dwell even in others, and let that truth be a light guiding people to the fullness of the truth which is found in the Catholic faith.